Hey, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone who still rule well and who have taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the elect out there, scattered wherever you may be. May Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai bless you and your household, and may you continue to endure. Shalom to you, Akim, out there on the highways and byways, week in and week out, as Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai commanded us to do. May Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai also bless you and your household, and may you continue to endure. All right, shalom to you, Israelite foreigners scattered on all four corners of the earth, as Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai said we will be. All right, may Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai bless you and your household, and may you continue to endure. All right, it's your brother Debakia from the Sons of Yasharallah, GMS Colorado Springs Camp, coming to you again with another live lesson. And I pray that you are edified, because that's what this is about: edification and exhortation, right? All right. And you know, the hot news, read all about it, is King Devil Trump taking away your SNAP benefits, okay? You American SNAP benefits, all right? You food stamp having American benefits, all right? And basically, I won't make this too deep, but I will say this. Beginning with the elders and apostles at Great Millstone on down, we've been telling you that this devil is not your friend and that he wants to bring order ab chaos. All right. And we've also been saying that famine is going to come to this country. OK, the Lord has a tendency of bringing famines to his people throughout history. All you have to do is do some research. In fact, let's go here. I put in, show me scriptures in the Bible about famine. Include accounts of historical famines like those. All right, so for example, Genesis chapter 41, Joseph, all right, King Joseph, who was from the tribe of Ephraim, right? He himself experienced a famine during his time, all right? Prophetic warnings of famine as judgment. Leviticus, that's the second book in the Bible, all right, talks about a famine. Leviticus chapter 26 talks about famine. Amos chapter 8 and verse 11 talks about a famine of the word. All right. And even the Messiah talks about famine. So basically, famine is inevitable. And if you're not in this truth or this gospel, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to make you starve to death. All right. And we say, call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because this country is filled with obesity and fat ass Americans. Straight up. So, all right. That being said, we're going to get the book of Matthew. All right. We're going to get the book of Luke chapter 21 in the NLT, New Living Translation, and break it down, right? About the Messiah speaking about famine. We're going to start at verse 5. All right. So this is Luke. And I pray that you're edified, right? This is the book of Luke chapter 21 and verse 5. Yahweh Shai speaks about the future, all right? Because obviously Yahweh Shai was the son of Yahweh, okay? And he knew things before they even happened. This is the greatest man to ever live on earth. All right, here you go. Yahweh Shai speaks about the future. Some of his disciples began talking about the majestic stonework of the temple and the memorial decorations on the walls. All right, but Yahweh Shai said, the time is coming will all these things will be completely demolished. Not one stone will be left on top of another. Teacher, they asked, when will all this happen? What sign will show us that these things are about to take place? And these words were in red, so this is Yahweh Shai speaking, man. He replied, don't let anyone mislead you, for many will come in my name, claiming, quote, I am the Messiah, and saying, the time has come, but don't believe them, right? Okay? But don't believe them. Because right now you got false prophets all across the earth, all right? Trying to mislead people and spread a false doctrine. But if you're misled by these false prophets, it's because Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai wants you to be misled by these false prophets. All right? If you can't accept that Yahweh Shai's name, if you can't accept that the Messiah's name is Yahweh Shai, all right, you don't have the understanding. You're misled. All right, you're bugged out. Okay, because these are the names that are going to save us in these very strenuous and detrimental last days, right? But don't believe them. Luke chapter 21 and verse 9. And when you hear of wars and insurrections, don't panic. All right, we see World War III catching some intensity, some momentum. All right, we see insurrections going on with all these protests, blah, blah, blah. But we, all right, us in the truth, we have nothing to worry about. If Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is with us, who can be against us? All right, all that we have, Yahweh Shai says what? To watch and pray. So that's constantly what we're doing, watching and praying. All right, if you're in this truth, you have no business out there protesting with the Palestinians in defense for the Palestinians, whatever that nationality is. All right, that's off. All right, and if you see insurrections, you see riots going up in your town, it doesn't make any sense to do anything. All right, and nonetheless, Yahweh Shai says to not panic, okay, because he has us and everything is under control underneath Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All the while, hell is breaking loose, right? And when you hear of wars and insurrections, don't panic. Yes, these things must take place first, but the end won't follow immediately. That's because the RFID micro chip has to be mandated first. All right, and then prophecy will start to basically unravel at a quicker rate. Then he added nation, right? Nationality, if you will. Nation will go to war against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be great earthquakes and there will be famines and plagues in the land, right? Literally, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is bringing famine to America. He's about to take away our food supply, your food supply, all right? That's why we always and constantly emphasize for you tribes out there, you Jakes, to be repentant. This is not a game, all right? Very serious times right now. There will be great earthquakes and there will be famines, all right, with that food stamp supply being taken away, and plagues in many lands. And there will be terrifying things and great miraculous signs from heavens, right? Those chariots, those UFOs, right? Those spaceships, if you will. Verse 12. But before all this occurs, there will be a time of great persecution. All right, that great persecution is already starting too. Okay, Esau Edom is looking to demonize the Israelites. All right, the small hats. They're tired of the true biblical Israelites calling them out and basically telling them that they're the devil. All right, because here soon we're going to be demonized for having this testimony in our mouths. All right, you brothers out there, prepare to be demonized. All right, Yahweh Shai already prophesied this back in his time. And this prophecy has yet to be fulfilled. It will be fulfilled here soon, though. Right? All right, but before all this occurs, there will be a time of great persecution. You will be dragged into synagogues and prisons. This hasn't happened yet, but it's about to happen. Right? Into synagogues and prisons. And you will stand trial before kings and governors because you are my followers, okay? We're going to be demonized, brother. So just mentally prepare ourselves. Prepare yourself. I'm preparing myself as well, all right, for the demonization to start. Because obviously, it's about to be here and it's coming. Because you are my followers. But this will be your opportunity to tell them about me. So in that day, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to put those words in our mouth to prophesy about Yahweh Shai. All right? So there's really nothing to worry about. Fear this truth. Just make sure you're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, and calling and fearing on those names of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, and praying, obviously repenting and fasting. That's literally our routine. All right, but this will be your opportunity to tell them about me. Call Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, and these words are in red. Once again, these are the words of Yahweh Shai. Luke chapter 21 and verse 14. So don't worry in advance about how to answer the charges against you. Boom. For I will give you the right words and such wisdom that none of your opponents will be able to reply or refute you. Man. Even those closest to you, your parents, brothers, relatives, and friends will betray you. All right, so don't trust anybody out here in these last days. Elder Apostle Gabar always says, there's a spy in every single GMS camp. All right, we know that there's spies around us, but nonetheless, look, we're prepared to be betrayed. All right, niggas betrayed me in the world, and why wouldn't they betray me in the truth? All right, that's small thinking. So ultimately, we got to gird up our loins like a man and figure how about Shimi Al-Shai and be ready for these drastic and spooky times that we're going into. Verse 16 again. Even those closest to you, your parents, right? Your parents, brothers, relatives, and friends will betray you. They will even kill some of you. All right, so some of us are going to be martyrs for this truth. But no worries, though, because it says what? The dead in Yahweh Shai shall rise first. So, right, when Yahweh Shai comes with those chariots, we're going to rise up out of those graves, right? And get beamed up into those chariots with those new bodies, man. Those spiritual bodies. All right, with those spiritual powers. Because this human flesh is not worthy enough and it's not even able enough to go inside of those chariots or be around Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. These fleshly bodies are weak. All right? They will even kill some of you, and everyone will hate you because you are my followers. But not a hair of your head will perish. By standing firm, you will win your souls. All right? How do you win souls? By doing these lessons. By telling brothers, sisters out there that they're the Israelites. Telling Jake to repent. Hitting the highways and byways week in and week out. All right? Constantly bringing the fold into this truth, right? Constantly bringing the bridegroom into their husband, all right? Constantly bidding Jakes to come into this marriage with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's how we win souls, not by protesting, rioting, all right, spitting on cops, trying to go against ICE and whatever Esau Edom has set up. That's not how you win souls. Winning souls is by teaching this gospel and it's 100% truth and in its entirety. Shalaki on that. Right? Luke chapter 21 and verse 20. And when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, right, this is talking about 70 AD. Yahweh Shai predicted and prophesied about 70 AD. If you're not familiar with 70 AD, go read about it. Then you will know that the time of its destruction has arrived. Then those in Judea must flee to the hills, right? That's talking about the tribe of Judah, right? Fleeing into the western parts of Africa, all right, the western hemisphere of Africa, all right, and then the transatlantic slave trade, actually the sub-Saharan slave trade first, which is the Arabic slave trade. All right, and us scattering throughout the world and even throughout the various places of Africa, right? Because of that Roman persecution. Then those in Judea must flee to the hills. All right. Those in Jerusalem must get out, and those out in the country should not return to the city. All right, for those will be the days of power's vengeance, and the prophetic words of the scriptures will be fulfilled. How terrible it will be for pregnant women, for nursing mothers in those days, for there will be disaster in the land and great anger against this people. They will be killed by the sword or sent away as slaves, right? Captives, as slaves to all the nations of the world. This did not happen to you small hats, but this did happen to you so-called Negroes, right? This happened to you so-called blacks. All right, who are from the tribe of Judah, which is the same tribe that the Messiah comes out of, man. They will be killed by the sword or sent away captives to all nations of the world. The transatlantic slave trade, the sub-Saharan slave trade, right here in the Bible, man. And Jerusalem will be trampled down by the Gentiles, okay? Which are the natural Gentiles, the Edomite, the heathen nations, man. Until the period of the Gentiles come to an end, in which we're approaching very quickly. Verse 25. And there will be strange signs in the sun, moon, and stars. And here on earth, the nations will be in turmoil, perplexed by the roaring seas and strange tides, right? People will be terrified at what they see coming upon the earth, for the powers in the heavens will be shaken, right? And that's going into the nukes, man. The nuclear missiles, all right? Coming to destroy America, a.k.a. Babylon the Great. Yahweh Shai even speaks about the nukes, man. Final verse, because this is going into something else. Luke chapter 21 and verse 27, excuse me. Then everyone will see the Son of Man, right, Yahweh Shai, coming on the cloud with power and great glory with those angels, man. With his fleet of the angels to destroy you Edomites, to destroy you heathens, to destroy you two-thirds, and to deliver the elect, man. Call Allah Yahweh Shemi Shai. We pray that we're a part of that number. So when you see all these things begin to happen, stand up and look up, for your salvation is near, all right? Salvation is near. All you brothers and sisters out there who are part of the hopeful elect, man. I pray that you were edified by this quick little lesson. But nonetheless, hey, Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai is bringing famine and hell to America. And you don't have to believe it. It is what it is. You are meant to believe it. But if you do believe this, it's because you were meant to believe, all right? I'm going to close out this lesson by saying, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash, Shalom.